Have you heard of the Hoffman Process? A girlfriend just sent me Oprah Winfrey's Instagram post around the Hoffman Process. I did that experience several years ago. It's almost been 6 years, I think. The last day, the reason I remember it is a dear friend and a mentor of mine passed away, and they told me on the last day of the process. But the number one experience that I walked away with from that week of no phone, they take away all, the outside resources, and you really go deep with yourself and the experiences that they take you through. And at the end, it was like almost at the end, people come up to you and tell you why they were triggered by you and who in their life created the trigger. And I had people lined up to tell me the part about it that made me feel different than normal, because I'm a coach and I help build a big company with thousands of people, and I have probably offended more people than I haven't. And I've learned through the process and grown. When people would tell me what they were feeling, they would tell me how I was wrong, what I did wrong, and why they were injured by me. What happened in the Hoffman Process is they redirect it so that you are sharing what's going on with you and which parent was the trigger for that emotion that they're experiencing and how you tripped over that. I'm a pretty powerful person, pretty direct, and sometimes I do now much more consistently pay attention to my words and know the value and the impact that every word I share has on another human being and on myself. But at the time, I was learning. And it was very interesting to hear a controlling mother. One woman was envious, which was unexpected, and she felt dim in my light. And, I just never had anybody share what really was going on through them. It was always projected onto me and how I was wrong for making them feel that way. So there's my quick snapshot of the Hoffman Process. The other thing I'm going to say is I've done a lot of personal work, and psychologists and therapists have done a certain kind of work. But as a coach, you learn different skills, how to ask questions. And I am not saying there's therapists and psychologists that are wrong out there. I am saying that the more effective way that I feel present at home and communicated with is when people ask me questions. Because the coach's mindset is that everything is within you. All you got to do is ask questions and help that person come to their own conclusions. You don't need to tell them. You don't need to try to direct them. You can offer tools and resources, but in reality, people who are not mentally ill, people who have awareness, they have everything they need inside of them to come to the conclusions that they need to heal whatever issue they're facing. So there's my little 2 cents. From a 1 to a 10, I would give Hoffman a solid 8. I've done other experiences that were way more intense and way deeper, and I did a couple after that experience. And if you want to know what they were and you're very adventurous, I'd be happy to share. I've done a lot of work, so I kind of became a junkie for going to different events. So let me know if there's something that you want to know about the Hoffman Process. I'm happy to share. Cheers.